All right, I got 12 o'clock, guys. On these weekly trainings, I always like to get them started right on time. We do record them, so if anyone happens to hop on late, no worries. We'll be recorded. You can catch it afterwards. But we do like to get these going for you guys right at 12 because I know how valuable your time is. So with that said, let me share my screen. It includes sound because I have a video for a little bit later on. Let me know when you guys can see it.
We've got it.
Got it.
All right. And here, let me turn my camera on. All right. What's up, Boost Nation? This old David Kim throwback, DK throwback. All right, guys. So today we are going to be going over ShopperTrak. There's actually some really, really cool stuff that ShopperTrak.
Looks like we lost your share somehow.
Okay. We'll try resharing. Share content, include sound, screen. All right. Let me know when you guys can see it.
You got it, thank you.
Okay. So yes, ShopperTrak. You guys, so these are being installed in the branded locations. You may have had someone come to your store and install these already. And you might be wondering, what is this for? What's the point of this? I don't want Big Brother watching everything I'm doing, but it's actually got some really, really cool stuff that it can do for you guys. That's going to, bottom line, help you make more money, right? At the end of the day, we're all in sales to make money. And that's what ShopperTrak is designed to do. It's designed to help you really maximize your knowledge of the traffic coming into your stores when you guys are having reps work. Make sure you have enough coverage for your busiest hours of the day. Make sure they're closing on enough opportunities. Really, everything is being taken and drilled down to a really molecular level. And it's great because you can really analyze the performance of your team members and help coach to any opportunities. So what is ShopperTrak? What gets measured gets managed. ShopperTrak measures traffic data at your store across time, giving you the data you need. Sorry, let me turn that on silent. Giving you the data you need to do better, to prepare for busy days. Really helps with optimization of your staffing. At the end of this, I'll cover this all kind of detail, then I'll play this little YouTube video at the end that kind of gives a recap of what it is and how you can use it to the best of your abilities. All right, so how it works is your stores are divided into these zones, right? So the zones are used to determine which way customers are going, basically in and out of your store. If you happen to be looking online, there's a green square in the middle of the picture, and then on one half you have a blue square, another half you have kind of a red square, or rectangle rather, right? And the green or the door zone is where your customers are entering in. The red is your interior zone. It surrounds that green zone. And then green is in the middle. In other words, it makes sure the customer has to fully walk in your store. Customers can't be going side to side. Let me summarize these colors. It's only going to really, truly count customers that go from one side of this zone to the other. So they have to go from the entrance of your store into your physical store. If someone's just walking left and right at the entrance of your store, they're not going to be counted. They do have to fully be walking in. That's the summary of this slide right here. All right, so they have some great resources for you guys. They have this https://analytics.shoppertrak.com. They have the customer care numbers. They're listed for you guys in this deck, and we do have a copy of this deck. We could send you guys, reach out to your DCI account rep. They'll all have a copy of this deck. They can forward to you guys. It has the email for ShopperTrak, their support number, their care hour numbers, which are Monday through Friday, 7 to 7, Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 5. All that's listed in here for you as well. Okay, now let's jump into ShopperTrak and what does it do? So you're getting this data. What can you do with ShopperTrak? Well, ShopperTrak has some really awesome site performance widget. And otherwise, there's core metrics, 5 core KPIs. You can see your sales, your traffic, your conversion, your ATS, and star, and all basically customized to your view. Those are the 5 they give you. You can make this more in-depth or less in-depth, kind of whatever you want to focus on. This is the initial setup, is it's recommending you go with the 5. So let's jump into what are these 5 KPIs that ShopperTrak is measuring for you guys at your fingertips anytime you want to see it. So one, you have STAR. So STAR is a traffic and labor KPI, and it's an acronym. So it's shopper to associate ratio. That is STAR, shopper to associate ratio. So the STAR traffic and labor KPI shows how many shoppers each of your associates assisted during a given hour. So you're going to know how many customers did each rep actually help during the hour they were there, right? So that is your star KPI. If you look at here, the example on the screen, their KPI here is 2.6. It says down 20.4%. So this is based on their previous time period. We don't know what that time period is. It could be day, it could be week, it could be month, it could be year over year, right? You can customize that as well. But in this example, it's saying star 2.6. So that customer is seeing 2.6, or the rep is seeing 2.6 customers per hour. That's down 20% from their previous measured period of time. All right, let's jump into a next one here. At the bottom middle, you'll see UPT here. Let me use my cursor here. UPT down here, right? UPT is a metric used to determine the average number of items that customers are purchasing in any given transaction. So in other words, this is a big one. How many boxes are they bringing to the table? Do they have just a phone, or do they have the case, the screen protector, the earbuds? How many items are we bringing up for that customer? So UPT is another really good one. They're at 3.5. So the average customer is getting at least 3.5 units with each transaction, right? So pretty cool stuff. I mean, like, I was like, oh, okay, I like this. I like ShopperTrak. They can do some really neat stuff. Then we have SPS here at the bottom left down here. SPS is a traffic and sales KPI. It shows the value of each guest represented in the dollar amount that walk through the door. So not only do I know how many people my rep helped each hour on average, not only do I know how many boxes they're ringing up on average with each customer, but I also know how much is that total bill of the customer each time they're ringing them up. In this one, it was $17.40. That's that SPS. That is traffic and sales KPI, shows the value of each guest represented in the dollar amount that walked through the door, whether they made a purchase or not. Sales per shopper equals sales divided by traffic, or SPS or SPS equals ATS times conversion, right? Basically what they paid, what that customer paid is a summary of that. So, right? So that's three of them. Now let's jump into the other two on here, or the other three on here. There's six actually, which is traffic, conversion, and ATS. So ATS we just talked about. ATS, which it was down here, which was SPS equals ATS times conversion. ATS is the sales KPI. Over here, sales KPI shows the resulting number when you divide the sum of all the sales dollar amounts by the sum of the average transaction. In other words, you take the average transaction size. Say you're doing 3 units at a time. ATS is going to be your sales. So if you had however many sales you had, divided by however many total transactions. So that's your ATS number. So lots of data here, right? You guys can totally nerd out on this. You can totally dig into the numbers. But I'm going to be looking at the sales, the traffic, the conversion. I like STAR, I like UPT, I like SPS, and of course traffic. I think these are all really, really good numbers to help you guys measure your store. If you see times when the store is down, what are you doing to drive traffic? If you have slower traffic, how many smile dial calls were made? If you have slower traffic, what did you do to go out and flyer some local neighborhoods? What have you done besides just sitting and waiting customers come to you, right? So more about the KPI widget here. The key performance indicator widget is going to allow you to compare performance against different time frames. As I just said, I wasn't sure in that previous example what time frame they were in. You'll see here, you can toggle time periods between prior year, prior period, whatever you want it to be. You can also toggle your data between any preferred KPIs. So you can see here they're selecting traffic. If you're on any point of the day, so you can see this has multiple days. If you're on a point in the day, you can click on the data point and you can have that broken down by hour if you want that. So this can be as super detailed as you want. You'll see down here on the bottom, you have this table, and the table breaks down selected period metrics as well as the day metrics for comparisons. And you can export everything to Excel. So really cool tool that you guys are going to be able to use. If we want to talk about another widget, the average hourly performance by DOW or Dow widget. The hourly performance by Dow widget is going to allow you guys to compare performance by day of the week at a glance. The average performance will report for the selected period of time. So if you see here, they have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? So if you hover over Tuesday, for example, you hover over the Dow to highlight the performance in the graph. And here they have select what you want to look at. They want to look at average traffic. So you can select the drop down to compare other KPIs, and then compare by the Dow by hovering over data points in the graph. So best practices here, you can set the average hourly performance widget as a visual representation of how your store is performing for a single KPI. So if you want to Focus in and lock in on autopay, for example. You can focus in on autopay. If you want to focus in on tablets, you can focus in on tablets, right? You can compare traffic and additional KPIs by Dow to determine peak days for selected time period. Then you can look, have peak traffic days changed over time, or have they remained the same? Also, they have what's called power hours, right? There's a power hour widget. This is very, very cool. So the power hour widget, it's one of the best tools they have out here for scheduling your employees. You can utilize the functions to quickly grasp where the opportunities exist. You can toggle between different metrics on here to see the different relationships they have. So if you want to look at traffic and conversion, it'll basically break everything down. So there's, again, a lot of information here. The quick summary is you're going to see your busiest time frames, and then you can adjust your employees to be scheduled during those times. So you're going to use this report on a trended period to gauge the busiest hours by store, and then again, schedule the traffic to that opportunity. The available selling hours, X, the daily total percentage, is the percentage of labor needed to be scheduled to match the opportunity traffic. Okay, so it's telling you exactly how many people you need staffed at a given time. The daily performance indicator widget will allow users to quickly understand through visuals where the greatest opportunities exist. Like, oh, this is the same one we just did? No, this is, nope, yeah, we already did that one. Okay, retail store summary matrix widget. This retail store summary widget displays on a scatter plot that allows stores to one of our 4 categories: out-of-store opportunity, high performers, in-store opportunity, or poor performers. So if you are managing multiple locations, you can put all your locations on a scatter plot and say, hey, here's where I need to focus on, right? So this is very, very cool. So some of the recommendations here is pair your high performing stores and your in-store opportunity stores. So share best practices, increase localized marketing efforts or window displays to draw customers into the poor performers and out-store opportunity stores. For stores consistently in the poor performer quadrant, reevaluate them. Examine store location, training opportunities, or store leadership, right? So this is really cool. Is my store profitable or is my store not profitable? If we want to jump into the categories here, so the out-of-store, poor performers, high performers, and in-store opportunities. Starting with out-of-store opportunities, that's a location with the above average sales or conversion, but below average traffic. If it's a poor performer, it's a location below average sales or conversion and below average traffic. High performers have above average sales or conversion and above average traffic. And then in-store opportunities are stores with above average traffic, but below average sales or conversion. Make sense? Pretty self-explanatory. And then daily averages widget. The daily averages widget allows users to compare performance across different time periods at a glance. The defaults year over year and prior period. You can also select that custom period. So the best practice here, use the 2 comparison periods from both the graph and table to help identify current versus prior year trends. At DCI, we like to look at year-over-year trends all the time. Are we doing better than last year? Are we doing worse than last year? Where's our opportunities at? And you'd be shocked to see that the year-over-year trends stay pretty similar, guys. They stay pretty similar. So the goal is always to do better than you did the previous year, right? You can select hours here as well. Selecting hours in the dropdown will allow users to compare hourly averages for the 3 different time periods. There also is a what if widget. It'll show you how your KPIs would shift given to a specific change. It's got the ability to mark specific advertisements or events to measure their success more meaningfully, and customizable dashboards and reporting to suit your needs and more. So, I mean, it's a lot, right? Like I saw just how many people walked in your store. There is a ton of stuff that these can do. Now, before I get to the questions, let me just play the video as a quick kind of summary slide before we open it up for questions. I know we're a little bit early here.
Meg. Meg is the COO of a global candy store, and she wants more shoppers to indulge in their sweet tooth. Meg is making decisions based on transaction data alone, but she is still missing a key part of the equation. She wonders, how many shoppers are actually coming into my stores each day? When are my busiest hours? Do my stores have sufficient labor coverage? And how is my staff performing? Meg knows where to find the answers. She turns to ShopperTrak for their highly accurate and global people counting and conversion solution. ShopperTrak leverages traffic, sales, and labor data to help retailers like Meg understand how many people are coming in the door, how effectively the staff is converting them into buyers, and whether the store has the labor coverage for success. She discovers 76% of her shoppers aren't making a purchase. She also learns her power hours aren't what she thought they were. Meg doesn't have the coverage needed to support her total opportunity, and as a result, shoppers aren't converting into buyers. Meg is ready to take action. She works with her regional managers to align scheduling to improve customer service and conversion. They start by changing the schedules to put more employees on the floor during power hours to ensure every visitor is helped. Then, they move all non-selling activities, such as restocking and maintenance, to slower traffic periods. In just 8 weeks, Meg and her team experience big changes. Conversion increases 3 percentage points, which means a 12.5% uptick in same-store sales. Now that's a sweet reward. ShopperTrak provides insight into people counting, enabling Meg to increase traffic, conversion, and transaction size. Learn more about how ShopperTrak can do the same for you.
Right, so pretty cool, right? Like, I think ShopperTrak is got some pretty awesome stuff for you guys. All right, are there any questions? All right. Well, no questions. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. We appreciate your time. I'll give you 15 minutes back in your day. Appreciate you. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Thank you.